Hi, can you speak a little bit so that we can see if the volume is okay?
Sure. I think I have to.
Okay, it's very loud and clear. All right, so time is 7:10, so we are slightly behind. Sorry about that. I want to apologize on behalf of Caroline, and she's not happy that I'm saying that. All right, so today is the first time that we are meeting in 2026. So Happy New Year, everyone. I'm glad that you are here, and this year we will do the same thing as last year. Hopefully, we'll do about 11 or hopefully 12 meetups this year. So this is our agenda. It's pretty usual, really very similar, but this time we are not going to do a lot of introduction at the beginning. We'll go straight to Yves' presentation after a brief introduction. So today, if you have taken any pictures from now till the end of the meetup, you can share the pictures with us. So I'm going to share the same slide at the end of the meetup, so you can scan the QR code at that time and upload any photos that you want to share with the other people. And then I would like to thank our sponsors. First one is Kinsta, which is a premium managed hosting for WordPress, for sponsoring the event, including our dinner. And I also want to thank Coffee's Shared Office for sponsoring our venue. So now we're going straight to Yves' presentation. So a little bit about Yves, and this is what he wrote. Okay, so he is an SEO specialist, and he helps clients to grow their business online. He implements strategic SEO and Google Ads with CRO approach. And he also has an interest in reading and playing chess. Okay, so that's what he has submitted, but I have a little bit more to say about him. So this is back in Bangkok, 2023. I think probably this is the first time that I've met him. And since then, I met him every time when I went to the WordCamp in Malaysia. And then he was the lead organizer in WordCamp Johor Bahru in May in last year. And they did everything perfectly. And they have paper cups with the logos on it. So it was wonderful. And unluckily, I forgot to take one during the event. And I asked him to bring me one so that I can take one home as souvenir. But the long story short, this is how many he gave me. So a whole pile, I think it's about 24 maybe, I don't know. And I brought them back to Hong Kong, all of them. I haven't tried to use them, but today, here I and Caroline, let's see, is going to use it the first time. And Caroline, come here. So, yeah, Yves, thank you. And if the picture caused you to have any illusion, I can assure you that this is two fingers, not one. So of course he is very polite, and he was not going to give me just the middle finger. All right, so back to something more serious. And this is Yves delivering his talk, which is the same talk as today, during the WordCamp Malaysia in December. It's just last month. So right after his talk, I asked him if he could deliver the same topic in a meetup. There was a number of reasons why I asked him. The first thing is that the topic is useful, I think. And the second is that his delivery was good. And three, I thought he would probably agree and so on and asked him. So here we are. So we go back to the presentation. So today he's going to talk about the 5 principles that you can use, you can implement in your WordPress website to improve the user interface in the site. Oh, now, yeah, let's go into it. And Yves, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Victor. I will now share my screen and replace yours. And cheers.
Okay.
Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great. And 大家好.
Oh.
I'm so happy was invited and offered this opportunity to share my 2 cents on the user interface. And this is Yves Tan coming all the way from Johor Bahru, Malaysia, which is we just one bridge across to Singapore. And before I begin, I would like to talk a little bit about myself and this. And being a marketer and specialized in SEO, I not always rush to my client to ask them, now you have to invest money on Google Ads or SEO heavily on your website. Sometimes we can do something with a little investment, which is improve your website user interface. That we might bring a lot of the returns instead. Imagine for every 1,000 traffic to your website, you get 1% of the conversion, which is 10 converted conversions for every 1,000 traffic. So if let's say you already have 1% of the conversion rate, imagine just a tiny improvement of your UI. You can improve this from 1% to 2%. And this will easily double your sales and bring in more customers to your business. And imagine if we can make it to 5% without spending more of the ads budget. Everything is the same, but your website is not anymore. So that is why the importance of the UI. And today, let's talk about the 5 principles of user interface that you can apply to your website today. And first thing first, why user experience and user interface matters. Because a good user experience is very crucial to the products, and especially if you want it to be easy to be used and keep customer engaging, and they will come back over to your website again and again. And this builds a competitive advantage, in fact, a moat that protect your business online. And if you have a poor user experience, that can lead to lose customer, as even like 88% of them will not return to your website after having a bad experience. So this is very important. It will directly impact how a business success through the user's satisfaction. And this is the top-down level. At the highest, so to have a full picture of this, we have the customer experience design. How we want our customer experience our business, our products. Then followed by the product design. How we're going to design the product that our customers will use it. Continue with how we want them to experience with the user experience of showing up, how we can design the user journey from point A to point B to point C, what's the onboarding, and last but not least, to show all this with user interface. How we design piece by piece, section by section, component by component, element by element, with all this user interface. And in simple terms, a user experience is we need to conduct user research. What is our customer avatar? Who are the personas? And even with the usability testing. With user interface is how your customer use your website or your apps. How's the layout looks, what is the visuals, and how they interact with your products. And there's a lot of user interface, in fact, that we can interact with a computer or machines. We have graphical user interface. Now, if you are using Siri or Hey Google, there's a voice control interface, and even with gesture-based interface. And not only that, in the recent advancing rapidly technology, we also have this machine brain interface, which is directly implanted with the chips connected with our brain. And today, we're not talking about how you can use your tongue to control your iPhone with this motion interface. No, definitely not about tongue. Today we will mainly talk about the graphical user interface. And a quote from Dr. Ralph Specht: if you think a good design is expensive, you should look at the cost of a bad design. And why is that? And in the news of Citigroup, which is the Citibank, it lose a reclaimed cash of over 900 million mistake. And they bring it up to the court. And the court and the judge blame this is the human error, and a bad user interface design just cost the Citigroup 500 million because of the 3 employees use a poorly design, accidentally make the client's creditors is to withdraw the credit of the transfer. So this is a case that 500 million lesson with a bad, poor design user interface. And I want to ask all of you here in the rooms, a website is an asset or a liability? If you think a website is an asset, raise your hand, please. If you think that a website, every year we need to renew the domain, pay for the server hosting, is a liability, raise your hand. No, I didn't see any hand. In fact, a website, to me, is an asset if we can bring in traffic. A website without a traffic is a liability that we have to pay every year. And do you know that such a tiny improvement, the investment that we can put on the user experience and user interface can bring a lot of return? In fact, on average, every dollar invested in user experience can bring $100 worth of the return. And a good user interface can increase the conversion rate by 200% and even up to 400%. And now I want to ask you here, the left side on the screen or the right side of the screen is a better design? If you think it's the left side, this one with 2 columns, raise your hand, please. Okay, 1, 2. If you think that the right side, this one, is a better design, raise your hand, please. Okay, we see more hands here. But the truth is, both are good design. And why? More people, especially Western influence, we will tend to favor the right side. However, if we mix with the more Oriental Chinese style, if you pay attention, in fact, Taobao or Tianmao, they are doing much better when they put all the information inside here. So there is no one size fits all. We need to study what our user, what our demographic, and then we decide accordingly. First thing, we have to ask who are our users. Then according to their preference, we build for them. Without study who are our users, then that is the thing that we need to avoid. So the easy plan, if anything that you can bring home tonight, is this: don't make me think. Don't ever let your user think about how they're going to use your website, navigate your website, how they're going to browse anything to find something on your website. Don't let them ever think about this. You want to make it so naturally smooth for them. By applying the first principle, hierarchy, the scan test. First of it is the sizing. I believe all of you seeing this. This is the first thing you will read this first, and then you will read this line next. And then probably is this, followed by this, and last but not least is the smallest thing here. So the sizing, this did matter. And we can also use this blurry test. When you blur everything, what is the first thing you would notice? Maybe this, the main line. Maybe secondly, maybe it's this one. Or thirdly, it could be this one. This is actually the title, subtitle, and the call to action button. So by testing the blurry test, you can see the hierarchy in a message here. And next is color in hierarchy. how we can apply the primary color, the accent color, follow with some semantic and neutral color to make it visually appealing. For example, like this. This yellow is definitely different, and that makes it different and catch people's attention. And your user will notice this. And this is the WordCamp website we had last year in the December. Next is the reading pattern for the hierarchy. As human of us, we tend to read from this F pattern or the Z pattern. Unless some Middle East, they have the reading from the right to the left pattern, but it will be similarly of this scanning style with F or Z. Okay, let me ask you, what is the first thing you will notice in this picture, this hero section? Most likely this one, the first thing. We can notice this book your escape today. This is the header. Then we notice this big image of on a cruise. Third thing here, you can see welcome to Wynn and Encore Las Vegas. So this is the typical F pattern on the scanning a website. How about this? The first thing, for sure we notice this title. Then is the image here. What are these software look like? And then there's a call to action button. And then this is a typical Z pattern, the Z pattern, the how humans read. So to conclude the first principle hierarchy, always prioritizing the important elements first. What is the most important elements that you want to let your users to notice, to know about it? Show this first. Make this, in terms of sizings and color, make it different. Next is typography pairings, the personality match. How we want our users to have a feel of us. These are the different font types. We have serif, sans serif, slab script, display, and monospace. And all these you have a different feelings. Some could be more playful, some is more serious, more professional. And this is like, can you notice the difference between Arial and Helvetica? This is the very close type font types, which is a paid one, and another is the free alternative. And through our different font types, we can make it have fun, some fun of how it's going to be perceived differently with different character. And this is a joke about Arial, Arial Bold, Arial Italic, and Arial Black. Okay, so a user interface is like a joke. If you have to explain it, it's not that good. So definitely don't beg your users definitely don't make yourself need to explain how you design your website, why this thing is putting here, why you're using this font type. Make them get to the point naturally. And this, can you tell why is the difference here? Because of the font. And it is best if you can only use one font type, one font. And this is, we have 5 fonts here. You can see how messy and how differently your user will perceive. And from the right side, this is consistent. One font type with different family to utilize of it. So how to choose your typeface? Try your very best to use only one. If you really cannot do it, maximum 2. Don't go more than 2. And always choose for a popular, tried and tested typefaces, which you can easily locate by sorting the font directories on the Google free font directories. And always look that they have a spectrum of the weights, so that you can have these different design. For example, this is the typeface of Roboto. But you can have different types of the setting. You can have a light version, an italic version, a regular one, and when you need to emphasize something, you can have a bold version. And another tips, to use clamp for scalable text, meaning to say your font will be scalable, become bigger or smaller according to your browser screen size. So that will make mobile responsive better. And our third principle is the for color of the 60, 30, and 10 rule. Okay, let me ask you, which is the better version? Raise your hand if you think the left side, this one is a better one. Okay, almost everyone. Raise your hand if you think the right side, this one is a better one. Okay, no. And that is correct. And why is that? This is for obvious reason. The contrast is not there. And this is very important that we mention later. First thing, color can tell us not just only the font type. Color can make us feel something. And if I mention red color, what would you thought of? Energetic, warm, warning, or danger? And how about sustainability? What is the first color you would thought of? Green, maybe. So this is how humans interact with the color in our connection system. And that is when all these big brands companies, they choose color carefully and use them strategically. And these are all the brands that and how they choose their colors. And do you know why Facebook choose blue? Because blue represent safe and trust. That is why most of the payment gateway company, for example, like PayPal, Stripe, they are all using the blue color. And by using correctly with the sequential, you can have a very nice gradients or categorical in a correct way. You can have a very nice color palette. And always try to use this 60, 30, and 10 UI color rule. Meaning to say 60% of the time, you have this dominant color with 30% of a complement color and 10% accent color, which is much different that you can usually we use for call to action and button for this accent color. This is the dark mode version and this is the light mode versions. How we can apply the 60, 30, and 10 rule when you're doing your design. And this is the contrast. You can see this is the good contrast with the color of two colors, and this is bad, almost not readable. And in fact, I couldn't even know this is actually another line here, which is the good contrast of the color. And we can have this WCAG website to test it our color. You simply put into these two color code inside, and it can tell us if our color matching has passed the accessibility test or not. And remember, good accessibility always represent a great usability that we don't have to explain more. With this, all our users, they can use our mobile app or our website effectively without question. So this is from Donald Arthur Norman, who wrote the very famous book that I shared in the end of my sharing. A good design is usually a lot harder to notice than a poor design. In part because good design fits our needs so well that the design is almost invisible. Only bad design that we always will notice and complain about it. And here comes our fourth principle, which is white space, the breathing room. In fact, if you go to this website right now, www.arngren.net, it is still look like this in 2026. It is full of the things, almost fill out all the pixel possible, and it's even not mobile responsive. That makes us is so overwhelming when we look at this website. It's not breathable. So by applying a nice rooms of the briefing, the white spaces, this gives ourselves and our users a nice perceived value. And this, I think, did the best from the Apple design and as well as Xiaomi design. And the last principle is consistency, the trust glue. Always use the same concept. If you look using different font, it will be looks messy, inconsistent, but through consistent, we can build up the brands. And we must always employ the same consistent looking. Have you ever seen a green McDonald's? No. Have you ever seen a purple Starbucks? No. So we always have to use the consistency in our design concept and design for our user expectation by reducing learning. So our users don't have to learn on how to use our products and eliminate all the confusions that could possibly arise. And here, a bonus tips is that how to create a design system in 2 steps. This will take our design time drastically less with consistent and better design. First is to create our own design system. Before you start any project, to start any website, try to have your own brand style guideline to decide what is your logo, what is the color that you use your logo, what is your color palette, and what kind of font you want to use. With the clarity you have in mind how to do the design, then we can have built this repetitive small component. In WordPress, some of us call it like loop widget. We create this old small component, we can form it into the bigger one, and eventually become a section, the whole section of a web page. And we can repeatedly use it by simply changing some images, some words. Then we can build our website or our products very, very fast in a consistent, visually appealing, nice looking piece. This is what we human design, and this is what our user will experience our products. I wish all of us here will never have to experience this in the future in our offering. And for those who want to learn more about user interface and user experience, I highly recommend to read these 3 books. The first is Don't Make Me Think by Steve Crook. The next is one of our quotes that I mentioned earlier, Don Norman's The Design of Everyday Things, and this particular UI. And for those who are not readers like me and prefer a video course, there's one free course on Coursera by Google. It's the Google UX Design Professional Certificate that you can get it for free. And today, we have discussed about total of 6 UI tips. The first thing we talk about hierarchy, how we can make our website be visually easier to be used and navigate through hierarchy with the sizing, and we always need to prioritizing what's the matter most. And secondly, with a good use of the typography pairings. In fact, I would omit the pairings in the future because try your best to use only one font type. And then we can use different kind of families to put it like we have a bolder version, we have the underline or even italic version of the design of the one font type. And next, we have the 60, 30, and the 10 rules for the color, with the dominant color, complement color, as well as the accent color to make your design look nice. And don't forget to implement a white space around a design, and then followed by a consistency. Always use the same design and try to implement a design system that will work for you and get your life so much easy in the future. I would like to end my sharing with a quote from Steve Jobs. Some people think design means how it looks, but of course, if you dig deeper, it's really how it works. with that, thank you. And this is my LinkedIn if you want to connect and catch up with me. So now I'd like to open for questions. Anyone who have any questions about user experience or user interface?
Okay, thank you very much, Yves. For the audience, if you have any questions, please move forward to in front of the camera. You can see an X on the floor, and then you can stand there and ask the question. The microphone is actually with the camera, so you can speak to the camera. So who has any questions? Okay, while they are being shy, Yves, I forgot to remember to mention that you and I are wearing the same shirt.
Yeah. This is
Yeah, you might have to organize a word at your back, but other than that, we are wearing the same shirt. And any questions from the floor? Okay, so I guess it's very clear. All right, so okay, so thanks, Yves. I want to let me share the screen again. Okay, so now we are going to present the certificate of appreciation to you. And yeah, let's also take the picture together. There are a few steps that I have written in front of me, and probably is going to take a few steps. So please wait a bit. Matthew, can you please distribute the phone boards to our audience so that we can take the picture with the sponsors? Control screen. Okay, let's take a picture now. Caroline, you have to stand behind me. All right, so we're going to take a picture. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, we'll try another again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me see if I can just place it here. Are we satisfied?
Yes.
All right, we actually have I have actually taken a few. So all right, so let's take another group picture, and this time we are not going to have the hold on, hold on, hold on. Sometimes it's a bit tricky. Okay, so this time we are not going to have the certificate on the screen, and yeah, maybe be prepared to take another picture. So this time's meeting. Okay, Caroline. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, again. We will need the phone box too, Matthew. And you need to be in the picture. All right, and the people at the back, please make sure that you can be seen in the picture. All right, so we take the picture again. 1, 2. Okay, again. Okay, one more. All right, let's see. So here it is. Okay. So Yves, thank you very much. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here to deliver a talk that you have delivered in Working Malaysia. And I will send you the soft copy of the certificate. But the next time I go to Malaysia for WordCamp, I'm going to bring you the physical copy of the certificate of appreciation. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's definitely my honor to have this great session with all the Hong Kong folks with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So for the rest of the audience, don't go. Our meeting has not ended yet. So let's see. All right. So we're now in the Q&A and general discussions. So you can ask anything about WordPress, and well, we are not going to answer it. Actually, everybody can answer the questions of other people about developing WordPress websites. It can be anything that's about the WordPress core, or some experience in the website development, or anything that is around WordPress, website development. So are there any people here who wants to ask questions? No? Okay, everyone's so shy. All right, then I think we have to, well, we will have to take a picture with me and also with you in the hall, but let's do the rest first. So we're going to do the closing. Here are some selected upcoming WordCamps that you may want to pay attention to. WordCamp Asia is coming. It will be in April 9th to 11th, and it will be in Mumbai. I heard that the tickets are selling very fast, so if you want to go there, you need to pay attention to when the next batch is going to be released and buy the tickets from the official website. And this one, WordCamp Johor 2026, I think Yves is actually going to be the lead organizer again, and the expected date is June 2026. So, yeah, you may want to mark it in your calendar, although I don't know exactly when it is going to be yet. Once I have any information about the dates, I will let you guys know. And there is another WordCamp that we can actually definitely go to, because it's going to be held in Shenzhen, right across the border. The expect date is June, also June 2026. Let's hope that they are not going to clash. I don't know, Patrick, are you involved in organizing this WordCamp too?
Yes, yes. I am helping to confirm the venue.
Okay, good. So we have a mole there. All right. So call for speakers. Okay. So every time we will invite a speaker or two to give a talk to the audience here, and the process will be recorded. So if you're interested in sharing some your knowledge with the other people in a meeting and also on our website at a later date, then please apply to be a speaker. The QR code is there. You can scan the QR code or go to our website at hkwp.me and fill in the form there. So a bunch of topics that you can talk about. You can talk about even about your own websites, something that you have dedicated your time in, and maybe you want to let people know about your own website. So we'll give you 5 minutes to do that. And for the other topics, we'll give you 15 or 30 minutes. So it's a good chance for you to showcase your skills, practice speaking in front of people, and show what you have got. And then we also would like to ask you to volunteer your time to help us in running the meetup here. We are still looking for a designer and a video editor. So if you are interested in helping us in either design or video editing or in other areas, please go to our website and apply there. Okay, so if you have taken any pictures that you want to share, it's now time to scan the QR code and upload your photos there. So I give you 10 seconds to scan the QR code. All right. So yeah, next thing, dinner. For those people who have been here, as you will know that after our meetup, we will go to dinner together, and Kinsta is going to sponsor part of the cost. Looking at the number of people now, I think the sponsorship per person will be like $20 for each person. So if you want to mingle with us and the rest of the audience, please just stay. We're going to pack up very soon, and then we'll all go to the restaurant, which is Loc Thiên Binh Sat, which is very close to here. So the budget will be $20 to $80. $20 if you just want a drink, and $80 for dinner. And you can deduct $20 from the cost, which will be sponsored by Kinsta. So thank you for to the sponsors again, Cofis, our venue sponsor, and Kinsta, our event sponsor. So the next one, our next meetup is going to be February 2026. I think, Matthew, are you ready?
In progress. In progress. Okay.
Okay, it will be you. It will be you. Okay, so all right, this is the end. No, we haven't taken a picture yet. So stay for the picture, and then we are going to pack up, and then we'll go to the restaurant together. All right. 这个影展。